Alpha.
So on your background aspect, leading up to all this, all these different properties you've bought, sold, and or want to rent, what do you think led you to this, to decide to pursue this as opposed to other careers or options, I guess?
Yeah, so traditionally, we were told growing up to find it or pick a career of what we wanted to do for the rest of our life, and work hard, get good grades, go to college, get good grades, and then graduate, and then you're in that career.
And then you get paid $50,000 for your good grades,
right?
Yeah.
And then $30,000 goes to school. So plus interest. So I took a slightly different path. I knew from the start that I didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
After so after high school, I joined a business that was doing roofing, which you guys know, and I've been working with them and still work for him for the last, I'm coming up on the 6-year mark pretty soon here.
Okay.
So with all that being said, how this started was my father has had real estate of many different forms, condos, apartment buildings, since I was young. Like when he started his career in real estate, he was just in construction, owned a construction company, and worked his butt off, saved every penny he could to put down on properties, and he ended up building these 8 families and some other things too. And he always told us growing up that these buildings are your college fund if you were to go. Yeah. So obviously, like I said, I didn't go, but so yeah, with that being said, that was being taught that your entire life was kind of cool, because it's something that, like, if he didn't have those and he wanted to be the parent that partially paid for college or fully paid for college, whatever he wanted to contribute to my education, that, just like every other parent, what did every other parent do? They saved up, maybe they put it in other types of investments in the stock market, and then when their kids turn 18, they cash out that entire cash valued in the stock market, likely, and now the kids can go to college. Instead, what he did was he took the last 30 years and saved every penny that he could, and instead of putting it in the stock market, he put it into properties, buildings. And so over time, those buildings have more liquidity in them, let's say. Yeah. And so with that being said, he was able to take money out, but he still has the property. Yeah. See the difference there? Did you catch on? Because he still
owns it, but
versus the parents that cashed out and said, "Here's $30,000. Go to here's your college fund." Yeah. That asset is no longer there. Yeah. It can't make you money. Now, when in the version of my dad, his assets can still produce money year over year, and if he sells them one day, then he gets the sale value from that.
Gotcha.
Which I doubt he'll do, but so yeah. And then obviously, so the rentals and the rent and stuff like that, that was kind of brought up in my family and in the background the entire time. Gotcha. And when I was growing up, I always had to change out dishwashers, garbage disposals, and light switches, fans, all sorts of stuff that would break on these rental units. Yeah. And that created a dynamic where if I can't fix it, I find out how.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of skill set. That's something I'm trying to learn myself, you know, become a problem solver. So that's something that I think is really cool. Especially last week I asked to come out here and learn some stuff, and you taught me 6 different things in like 2 days. I put up a ceiling fan.
Yeah.
Beautiful ceiling, best one I've ever seen. No, but yeah, I did a light switch, and I don't know. You're a good teacher, and I think it just shows probably from your childhood of you having to learn and stuff. You passed it on, so it was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Felt good to put,
Yeah,
put
I enjoyed
something.
it too, because it's
yeah.
like I like the teaching aspect of it, and in some sense, there's definitely a pay it forward.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am, and I'm not like in the spectrum of things. I don't think I'm that far.
No, but you're
but like-
trying, and
Yeah.
it looks like, dude, you're building the platform for success.
Right.
How many properties are you at right now?
So right now, there's 3 condos.
Okay.
One of them I live in.
Okay.
And then I am 50-50 partners with someone that in a duplex.
Okay.
And so that one is they're all like in the same county.
Yeah.
I personally really like Washington County and
Yeah.
the area, just because I understand it very well.
Yeah.
I lived and grew up there, so it makes sense to me. There's certain areas like Hartford that I want to believe in, and I see positive growth happening. So if I can put myself on the path of progress
Yeah.
and buy a property while they're still reasonable to pick up, I'm hoping that in 30 years that my bet would come true, and that it's worth more than what I paid for it.
Yeah.
So
Cool. So then this would be your 5th one then.
yeah.
Yeah. 5th one.
Yeah, well, technically, I guess. Let me see here. So, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Nice.
Because,
And that's in like a span of how long? How long would you say?
year and a half.
That's not bad, man.
I ended
Considering
up
you're
selling
working.
One. I sold one.
Yeah, but considering you're working, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. So I sold one and I live in one.
Yeah.
So there's only. So this one is, like I said, almost done.
Alpha.